Margie and Barbara.
Yeah.
We brought Margie because we needed something to get some history and expertise.
I'll be close by.
Okay, all right, so she's got the Band-Aids in her back.
Yes.
So what we did was, one, wanted to talk about, we've got the cooking club coming up and we've got the cookbook coming up. So we're trying to bring everything together. If anybody has anything that they want to contribute, because I know we've gotten a bunch of stories and artwork, we'd love some poetry, some recipes we've got already. This is going to be a cookbook that's going to combine everything that we've been doing in the cooking club. So I will put in a link a little later on a form if you want to send it in. We've got a web page that shows you about the cookbook and kind of thing that we were. We can do that if anybody wants to do that. Yeah, please, we're not proud. We will take to bring anything in whatever way you shape or form that you want to give it to us. So now I want to explain why Margie and I are doing a cooking club instead of somebody who actually knows how to present and cook and do things. We've been doing this for now a year. In February, it's going to be a full year. So we'll have Maudine back doing a little something, including some chocolate, since it is heart health and Valentine's and everything. But we've been looking at the kind of things that people actually do and who is actually doing the cooking. And so what I'm finding is there are a number of people who are either not comfortable with cooking or they don't want to do a lot of cooking. So I said, hey, why bring in an expert when we can have us do it instead? Somebody who doesn't normally cook, and Margie will tell you about her comfort level and stuff in the kitchen. I do cook, but I'm certainly not a professional. I've sort of learned over the years how to cook out of necessity and have developed my own style. So I'm going to let Margie talk.
We're also two different journeys. So this lady is trying to become more vegan, which I tried for a day.
You start for the,
Yeah, but trying to be
90% there.
And so her is going to be interpretations of like tuna. She's going to veganize it. I'm still Miss Protein and I'm like still miss meat and fish and all of that kind of stuff. So the other thing is I'm single, so I'm like cooking for one. I also I have to take a blood thinner because I have a condition that I need to take a blood thinner. So I'm very nervous about cutting myself. And FYI, I did cut myself this week and ended up in the ER. To have and take care. Oh, she's here to have a good laugh. Yeah.
We'll film it and we can blackmail them.
So bring pictures. Oh, absolutely.
I'll drink my coffee.
If you're taking videos, don't laugh. Not while you're laughing. Okay, go ahead.
So I like to do things very simply, and so you're gonna see how I would typically do. You want me to do the salad first?
Yeah, go
Okay.
for it. All right.
So here's how I make a salad. And then
Okay, so we
she
need
makes
you to spotlight and you're gonna do the salad.
I have to spot.
No, I'm talking to Tabitha, our
Take this
checkers.
knife away, thank you.
Yeah.
This is my knife. This is the only knife I use in the house. I have had this knife 30 years and it's never been sharpened. So it's like, that's my main, I use other little knives, but that's my main knife. So I have to make a salad. I come from work. This is what I do. These are the packaged salads. I don't know if people have used them at all. This salad is made by.
Yeah.
Okay, this salad is made by Taylor. Dole makes them. This one is the everything. So it's like kind of like an everything bagel, and in it are green leaf cabbage, broccoli stalk, red and savory cabbage, mini bagel toast, which I really like. Carrot, green onion, seasoning, and ranch dressing. So everything I need is in one place. So I'm starting my cooking endeavor. Here's the first thing I do. I cut the bed. I think it's something all of you can do. Try not to cut yourself when you're doing it, but that's the first thing that I do.
Who makes the product?
What?
Who makes the product?
This one is Taylor.
Taylor, thank you.
And Dole makes them also, a lot of places make them now. So,
Get them where you can buy lettuce?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And in terms of calories, If you took the whole thing together, so it's about 3.5 servings, and you took it all together, it's probably about 500 calories, which is a perfect for like lunch, absolutely perfect. Okay, so first I do this. I think it's something everyone can do. I take it and I pour it into the thing.
Can you do that again, slow-mo?
Yeah.
Yeah, put it back in the.
Check that there's nothing left in there. And then sometimes I want to add stuff on my own. So where's my knife? My knife. Here's my red pepper. I cut the red pepper. And then because I don't like right now to use too many knives, this is a tool. It's called a veggie cutter. I don't know if people may have seen that advertised someplace. Maybe you started bugging me.
I don't want you to get set up one of those.
Yeah. So, in it, there is like a cutting element in it, which is right here. I would say to people, be careful rubbing your finger over it, because you can cut yourself and bleed and go to the emergency room. That's just something to be aware of. But you take this one's a little smaller than the one I had. And basically, I like to do it really loud, so.
Ooh.
Margie, can I see that up to the camera?
What did it say?
Can I see it up close?
She wants to see it, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see a little bit close.
So that's the size it cuts it. If you want to cut smaller than that, sometimes I pick them up and put them in like, where's the onion? I'm supposed to have an
I
onion.
bet that,
Onion,
I bet that's
right
right
here.
here. The other one costs too many suits.
And so. And you can probably, I see people on TV do it really quiet like that, but I like it. Also, it's a satisfying thing.
There you go.
Onion. Okay, I don't need it.
So what does Boo
Take it
do?
away.
What does Boo do when you do that?
He's the-
That's
That's my cat, he hates me anyway. This is a carrot, this is a carrot, okay? I did already take off the stuff on the carrot. Again, I'll do it quietly. Nothing but-
I like that.
Wow. If I said, oh, these carrots are too big, I can take a handful of them and put them in and have them cut again, if I want them to be smaller than that.
But I think that also has an attachment if you want
Sound?
the first
What?
time smaller, it does have an attachment, so yes.
Yeah,
Different
that's a wonderful thing. I don't wanna say, promote what the
Amazon.
thing is, but you bought it on
Yes.
Amazon.
Yes.
What do I call it?
It's just a veggie cutter.
Okay.
Nicer.
Yeah, no, it's called the veggie cutter.
All right, thank you.
We can send a link afterwards too. I should become an Amazon whatever, then I'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then sometimes I'll take a baby bell. Everyone knows baby bell, right?
Yeah.
It's a little cheeses. And this is hard. I have to pull the string off of it. And then I have to take it out of the thing. It's huge. I mean, so it's a lot of work.
Toss all that in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then I take it and I just make little things of it. And I just pull little pieces and then I have some cheese. Sometimes I like to take my salad after it's done and put it in the microwave for a couple of like seconds to just kind of, then the cheese melts and it's, it's called survival. Okay, then this is the bag. This is the bag that it comes with. Okay, so this is the bag with the Taylor.
Under the camera.
This is the bag that it comes with. Okay, and I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut it. Again, cutting skills very important.
It is.
In here. I'm 2 seconds before you pull things away.
I am trying to be.
I know, but you don't make me nervous. Okay, this is, what do we think this is?
Cheese.
Salad.
I was just thinking-
Okay, remember, I've already put cheese in,
Oh.
okay. And then this. Little spices. Again, if anyone's had an everything bagel, it's kind of the kind of spices you would have in an everything bagel. And this. Oh, okay. And this is my favorite part. This is my starch, okay? These are little bagel chips, okay? So I will take what's in here, and pour it in. And it, it's whatever I have in the refrigerator, whatever vegetables I have that I want. Sometimes, I've used green beans and, whatever I have to kind of like supplement it. And then I'm like stirring it like that, because that's the way I stir. So then I cut this open first. This is the seasoning.
You put that under the camera so people can see your fabulous technique. Hey, it is. Oh, there we go. That's nice.
And then I like to put the dressing in next before I put in the bagel chips, because once the dressing and the bagel chips can get kind of like yucky.
Mr. Gourmet tip.
My gourmet
Your
tip.
gourmet tip.
And then you can put in as much of this as you want. I
Not a
have,
lot.
Do we need her? Always one heckler.
the entire thing is 400 or 500 calories. It does have, if I do 3 servings, which the whole thing is 3 servings, that's 900 milligrams of sodium. The fat, if I do 3 servings, would be about 36, saturated fat about 6 grams. So it's not horrible. It's not like you're gonna like, my AFib isn't gonna go crazy because I have this. Okay, then I can put other things in it, like, so sometimes I like to put in some like slivered almonds, things that I like to put in some like extra nuts. It doesn't come in with that. And then this case, I'll just use spoon. And I toss the salad. If I'm home, I might sometimes use my hands. Because when you're home, it doesn't matter, everything's sacred at home. And then, as the last thing that I like to do is I put the bagel chips in last, because I like them to still stay crunchy. And a lot of times I'll take the salad and I'll put it in, a piece of Tupperware or whatever, and that's what I have for lunch. And maybe I'll bring in like,
Does it stay fresh for you?
I mean, I put it in the refrigerator. I don't leave it.
Even that with
Um,
the dressing.
Yeah, and it'll stay fresh, like definitely even overnight. I can do it the night before and have it the next day. And then sometimes I'll also, because there's not really any protein in here, I'll throw in some turkey or something like that, or some nuts, or cheese. But the cheese is protein, but it's also fat. I guess I don't think of cheese as protein. And that's why I'm not a nutritionist. I don't really
You're saying cheese.
Yeah, because you taught them well.
Well,
known as
anytime you wanna
Google.
hop in and throw in some nutrition facts, please feel free. That's why you're here.
That's what I'm here.
That's why you're here.
Fellow
So,
comments here.
And then I'm done. I mean, so to me,
Haven't
Kevin's got a question.
No, I don't. I'm good.
I'm just laughing.
Kevin might get a couple of tips.
Yeah, I'm still learning, I'm still
You
learning,
definitely need, so
I'm still learning, I need help.
Kevin, get like 5,000 packets of.
The year.
If everybody sees us at lunch tomorrow.
And to me, it's like, it's healthy, it's quick, it's easy for me to do, and that's what I do.
very nice.
Margie's salad, is that what you call it, Margie's salad?
Now I call it Taylor's everything.
Oh.
You can get it Taylor. I'll just put it to the side.
So Martha, I have a question.
No?
The bag usually has a use by date.
Yes, it does. So it has, I may have cut it off here. So this one says best if used by February.
Yeah.
No, they're all the
okay.
same. No, that's right. It's best if used by February 2nd. I find that if I use it a few days after, it's fine. Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is, if those of us who enjoy getting the fresh little leaves of lettuce and fresh, this is something that can be kind of a standby in case you're just not in the mood to do all that cutting.
Yeah.
You can get it anywhere?
You can get it anywhere.
Any grocery store.
Every single grocery store has now stacks of it.
That's great, because everybody's looking to take a short.
Like me.
And
Everybody's busy.
yeah, there's a food label on it that tells you what the ingredients are.
Yes.
so
And the
you can make your
calories and everything.
choices.
Yeah. So, You're gonna show actually making a salad. I'm gonna make it from
She's
scratch.
good.
Yeah, well, oh, you don't want my carrot, right?
Yeah.
You don't need my knife.
Okay, so let me. All right, so let me see how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna, all right. So we're starting off with, went to the kitchen and I raided their refrigerator, because that's kind of how I do salads, is I look at the refrigerator and say, okay, what do we need to use? What do we have? And so that's what I ended up doing today. So I started off, this is just the romaine lettuce that they had in the kitchen, that was already cut up. But I like cabbage. I really like having cabbage. So this is a Napa cabbage. So there we go. I happen to, huh?
Oh, it's under the.
Protein.
It's a fly. It will be okay. No one will fly from the fly, I
He's,
promise.
you might wanna flip the fly. Yeah.
Where's the fly?
That's all, folks.
Why salad?
It's not a little critter, you know, like, it's not like-
They eat the fly. Okay, too.
Yeah.
I know that.
If they don't.
The fly is gone, may I continue? We're not gonna eat this entire cabbage, I mean,
The fly wanted a front row seat. That's what
yes.
you-
So I'm just gonna cut part of this off, the rest is going to be for your dinner at lunch at some point. I like the Napa cabbage, it's got a little bit of a crunch. I also like mixing it, I like the red cabbage because it gives a little color, it's a little harder, I like the crunchy salads. So I'm just gonna cut this up a little bit, real fast. I know.
Pretty good.
Aren't you impressed?
Yeah.
All right, so that's, probably could do this a little smaller. I'm not used to cooking with an audience. So- All right, we're gonna mix that up. And so what else do we have? We have green cabbage, the green pepper, so I'm going to add a little of that.
Here comes vitamin C.
That vitamin C.
We both had peppers, because I had red peppers and she was.
Hers are colorful, that's true. So I like using the whole thing. I just, I throw everything in. So, but I don't know if we need to have everything in right now. So I'm just gonna, I know Brandy showed everybody how to cut it so it's flat and it's, nice and it's pretty. Yeah, I like mine better. I like mine that has a little more roll to it. This is a little too straight for me.
Oh, that's the
So,
kitchen knife?
huh?
That's the kitchen knife?
This is one of the kitchen knives that I bought and I sharpened it. I like the ones that actually like that you could sit there, because then you could sit there and just roll as opposed to chopping. I don't feel like this is easy and
Yeah, I
simple.
bought my
things.
own implement from home, I guess you couldn't. do
I
that.
should.
I guess it was,
Why didn't you bring your own knife?
I know, she told me to bring your knife, because she wanted to do the embarrassing with how old my knife
She
was.
did make a point that she had this fabulous funky little knife.
So Barbara, as a gardener,
Yes,
the green pepper, if you have a green pepper plant and you don't pick them while they're green.
they do turn red. So that's really, the red peppers are the green peppers that mature completely and they get a lot sweeter.
So it's not red dye in the red.
It is not red dye, red pepper. No, it is not red dye.
The blood from Barbara's fingers.
These things.
My favorite.
Yeah, Mark.
All right.
Where does the like those orangey yellowy ones?
See, that's a different variety.
Oh, that's. a-
So that would be a different variety. And I think the red ones though are the ones that just, you pick them when they're green or you just let them continue to ripen. That's true of the hot peppers as well.
You know what I love as a snack is the little red pepper, the little peppers, they're great, they're sweet. And they're very healthy snack, because you can just put them in a dip of hummus or something, that's great.
Yeah.
You can go with the hummus.
The hummus was gonna have. You still have that big?
But there's a little bit of, and they're a little spicy,
Yeah.
but not too spicy, Now with the peppers, if you want it hotter, you add in the seeds. If you want it a little milder, because the seeds is really where a lot of that, that heat is. So, you know, if you take out the peppers, that, you know, the seeds there, it's a
And
little
even the
wild.
green pepper that you used today would.
You know what, I have
Seeds
been
are-
finding the seeds have a little bit of it, so every once in a while, I get lazy. I throw in all the seeds and everything, and also, what is a little spicy? And I think it's because, but I don't know.
Yeah.
More, do you know,
I
that
just
would make
usually
sense.
think they're ugly. I mean, not ugly as in, you know, I wouldn't judge ugly, but they're not. pretty in my
God
salad.
forbid, we're judging, it's okay, we're judging.
My salad is prettier without those seeds. So, so I've never left them out or included them for the changes in the piquant nature.
Right,
So maybe that's something I'll try next time.
okay.
I mean, I love hot, lots
Right,
of hot,
and the sweet pepper, the seeds I find aren't hot.
yeah.
They're just, I was surprised. You know, I was just a little surprised that I know I was not using, like a jalapeno or anything, which we do have in the house. So, all right, so this is what we have in terms of, this is a celery, and they happen to have it, so I'm just gonna grab a handful and throw that in. And let's see what other fun stuff do we have here. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of, these cherry tomatoes, because they're so cute. I like the cherry tomatoes when I make a salad, especially if I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit, partially because if you cut up the tomato and you throw it on the salad, it starts to get soggy that much faster. So cucumbers, I'll put aside, I'll add them at the last minute. Tomatoes, I'll cut up. If I do, I'll put them at the last minute. Otherwise, I always use cherry tomatoes because I think they look cute and they look pretty. And my salad doesn't go to waste. All right, so next is, I'll just keep adding stuff.
All this was in the fridge in the back?
It was, I know. So it's great. It's so fun. I now know where everything is too, so, you know, Kevin doesn't even have.
Don't even have to ask, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. I just go in and.
Approval.
Yes.
You know the code.
I know the code. I know what. There you go. If you need anything. All right, so I can do this. I'm taking off the little. There we go. Yeah. Let's go there and let's not cut my finger. That would not be good.
Well, I'm gonna throw some raisins in my salad too.
In there. I'm gonna put mine with.
That raisin bag, maybe some of them have a Ziploc
Yeah.
opening.
Oh, well, it's too late now. I saved so many plastic.
For free. She's taking them home anyway. That's no way of saying I want to take them home.
I saved so many plastic containers. Like, I get criticized by my daughters all the time. But so I would even put the raisins in something else anyway, that's gonna keep them airtight.
Thank you, that was my plan.
That was the plan.
All right, so I'm just gonna take one more radish. And I'm doing this and trying not to, these gloves are driving me nuts because
That's hot, yeah, they're not.
every time I try, I don't know how you do this every day with the gloves on. It just, you get used to it.
These gloves, man.
I was gonna say, when the door closes, the gloves come off.
No.
They show.
Yes, this is being recorded. We don't do that.
But if you watch chefs on television,
They
they're
don't
not
wear-
wearing gloves.
No, they are not.
Yeah.
All right, and last, I also happen to like apples.
Oh, I love that.
So, and I happen to be, I like green apples because I like the sour. I will.
Wait, but
red ones, I don't want-
I'm just a question, do you turn your apple upside down or right side up when you cut it in half?
Why, what's the difference?
Oh, no, I'm just asking for your own style.
Oh, I usually just
The
do
trick
it this
was to
way
watch
because
out.
it's flat and it doesn't roll on it. So.
Is that a trick or sandwich? In fact, how would you question?
When you have shop chefs.
Bad choice.
You're right.
And why the green apple?
Because I have.
No, I'm saying,
Yeah, right,
I'm
oh,
with our psychology line.
All right, I do like green. I'm sorry, apples should be sour as far as I'm concerned, but too sweet and they get really,
You know, it's interesting though, like when I put it in a salad, a lot of times I'll take off the skin, because I don't like
You don't like
the
that.
little pieces of skin on, you know.
well, I like the skin, so.
Does anybody use an apple core here? Cause I use an apple core.
No, we don't have an
That's
apple.
got a little.
Yeah.
Do people, does anyone here have an apple core? Do you guys use anything that
It's
pulls out the
so
core of
cool.
the
You
apple?
just press it down on the
Yeah.
apple and it makes quarters.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you can chop it.
And I've seen it do.
And it takes out the pulp.
I also had a peeler where you can sit there and you put like a little thing and you turn it and you have a long peel.
These are
No.
kitchen toys.
They're kitchen toys. My problem is I don't like a lot of gadgets because every time you turn around, then you have to put them somewhere.
Yes.
And I do not have magic cabinets that suddenly make room for everything else, so. So, yes, so there's our cute little salad. Doesn't that look nice and colorful? And I
Yeah.
like to have lots of different colors in there, even for myself, because it looks. I took a cooking class in high school. One of the only valuable things I ever learned was to have different colors because it looks pleasing to the eye. And the more colors you have, the more vitamins
Yep.
that you have, because each thing is gonna be different. So now I'm going to make my own dressing. Let's see what happens. And so I was thinking we were gonna do like
Did you
an
forget
Asian style.
Sharpies?
Huh?
No,
I did not, the chickpeas are something different.
Thank you for the.
Oh, So I'm gonna make an Asian style. I don't have the exact, I will write down this. But I kind of wing everything, so that's kind of where we're at for today. So I'm gonna add a little rice vinegar. All right.
Salad dressing is probably healthier than salad dressing in that.
Because because I use this full time, I'm using the agave nectar, I'm gonna just show that to you. I at home prefer maple syrup. I thought we had some, but I couldn't find some. So, but the agave is a nice substitute. You can use honey. You use a little sugar. I also use like stevia extract. I happen to like the taste, not everybody does. And that's a natural plant that when it's dried, when the leaves are dried, it's 300 times sweeter than sugar. So that's a little bit of something that could be nice. So this is soy sauce. All right, so this is the high sodium stuff, but you can also get low sodium. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in there, and that's why I don't add extra salt. So because it's already in there. Let's see what I have. I love ginger.
Can I ask a question, Jane? So in terms of sodium for average person, sort of our age, how much sodium would be appropriate for the day?
Approximately 2,000 milligrams a day, but turning that into food, kind of hard to nail it, but it's almost things that have had minimal processing.
Okay.
So like apple is minimal, none at all. But the soy sauce has gone through the fermentation and all of that.
When mine said how much sodium was in it, that's part of my.
Yeah, so-
Monte, why did you move up here? Because people can't see
Oh,
you, and
really?
this way we need your
But
expertise.
I'm being snarky a little bit.
I know.
Fascinating over here.
Oh, trust me, she can be snarky. That's
A snark partner.
So, all right, I have now this, I like a little garlic powder. I add fresh garlic sometimes. I'll get a clove of garlic. You can see I like to be generous with my, and I know I had, here we go. And to give that a little more Asian flavor, I have miso. I found this at, where am I going here? There we go. Usually I get it in the containers, but I went to Acme, Fort Lee, I guess it's a big Asian population. They have this as like a snack. I can't figure out, but it's just the right proportions for what we needed. And I like it. It's also got some protein. I think it's got some other vitamins. What else is in there?
Well, it's best because it's a probiotic.
Right.
Not
There
pre.
we go.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's a little bit here throughout your overall diet is good for
Thank
your gut bugs.
All right, and let's see what else. I think that should do it. Sometimes you can do a little sesame oil or a little something. Now, when I'm doing the plant-based stuff, one of the things they're trying to teach us is to not use oil, So I've actually been trying to do things that doesn't have oil added to it.
What's the reason?
That, I mean, if you do the plant powered, you know, the way we've been doing it, they're trying to cut out everything that's processed. And that claim is.
Processed fat.
Processed fat, yes. So
We need fat.
I'm not cutting out everything completely. I just, you know, I'm not ready to be, you know, that.
Yeah.
But I have been doing some stuff like cooking without oil.
Mhm.
And it's actually worked out pretty well where you just put in, you know, get it hot enough, get things cooking. It actually has a little bit of moisture and then you add a little water. I really don't taste the difference. So, you know, some of it, and I think that I think the cooking with the oil changes the, whatever, especially like olive oil, changes a little bit. So I've been using olive oil and stuff like that more raw on salads and stuff. So I'm gonna take my little food processor here and just mix it all up. So cute. And I know, isn't that great? I got it at Target. So at the time it was on sale, I don't know, I think it's like 60 something dollars. It's not too bad. And where's my spoons? I'm just gonna try it just to, I have all these spoons here. Oh, here they are. Just to see how it tastes. All right. Go. You like the way I did that? All right, so I'll add this to my, and then we're gonna get, and then we're
Very
going to
music.
even it out.
Very music.
And you guys can compare and see the difference. So I think, what's it, one of my kids or somebody said they actually like some of the store-bought stuff better than my homemade.
So should I start the tuna now?
Yeah,
Okay.
and now we're gonna swap
You
off
take this
again.
away. Where would you like this to go so I don't cut myself?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I'll move it there. Okay. We don't need it dry yet. I think we're gonna need, oops, another one of these for your thing.
Okay, I'll go and get something.
Okay. All right, so now we are going to the protein part of our journey today. I'm a tuna person. I really like tuna. I know that it's interesting to see what Maureen has to say. I hear that you shouldn't have tuna more than like twice a week, that it's not that great for you to do that. So I tried.
Yeah, you should talk about it because
Yeah.
mercury.
Here,
that's-
I'll get it.
Okay,
Big fish.
Okay.
yeah, it's important. The other, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna start though, because I'm still gonna eat the tuna anyway. So, and there are times like, you know, I'll get into a real tuna binge where I'll just want tuna every single day. So I'm very fussy about my tuna. So this is not the tuna that my tuna must be Bumblebee. And it must be Bumblebee and it must be chunk, a little, yeah, it must be albacore and it must be chunk white.
Martin's back of them.
Okay, so the question is about how often to eat tuna.
Oh,
That's an emergency.
yeah. So I don't remember the exact dates, but, or frequency. New York State has a website that gives a fish safety guidelines for pregnancy, for children, and I think in general, but mostly for pregnancy.
Not an
Because
issue
of-
right now. Not an issue for me this minute.
I seem to remember, there are tuna that are caught that are smaller. And it's the larger fish because they contain more mercury, because they're fattier and bigger and they
Yeah.
contain more mercury in their cells, right, in the meat. So the smaller the fish, the less potential of getting mercury, because it's the fish that eats all the other fish that,
The higher on the food chain, the higher on
Yeah.
the fish food chain, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, here's where we are right
So
now.
at any rate, so
At
you
any
have,
rate,
you can have an
this is the
hour
we're
of
having.
fish.
We have an hour conversation around fish. I'm very fussy about my tuna, so I like it, everyone has, you know, tuna and chicken salad are the two things that you always have conversations about. Chunky versus not chunky, I don't like big chunks of tuna, I hate that. So I squish up my tuna as much as I can, and I use my hands to do it. I think I'm gonna need a different pair of gloves. 'Cause
Okay,
I
well,
don't know.
that's why I bought several pairs.
So this is what my tuna looks like, very squished up. So that's number one. It has to be very squished up.
Here's your,
And then I like to put in, there was supposed to be, which is interesting, I use vegan mayonnaise to do my tuna salad. And she's gonna talk about a faux tuna salad with hummus, but she's still using regular mayonnaise because that's what she has at home. So the vegan is using regular mayonnaise and the non-vegan is using vegan mayonnaise. We didn't have, I was told we had vegan mayonnaise,
We
but
did.
once we got here, we did not. So we are going to use, I can't get this one on. We're going to use regular mayonnaise. Now, again, I do not, like her, don't really count out. I kind of put in, I think I don't like one mayonnaise, so that's a problem. But, it's a little
No
bit,
problem, it's a preference.
it's well, yeah, but it's.
Thank
probably
you.
not the
I
best
like
thing
the
for
way you said that.
Probably not the best thing for you. And
Mayonnaise is an old beer.
you know, I've also been using the light mayonnaise so that there's like somewhat less calories. In it, and sometimes I've also been using Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise. And I like that. So I like to put, not perfect, because if I were home, I'd be using my hands, it'd be a whole lot of production.
I think a smaller bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
would probably make it easier. But I like.
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
We have right there.
What?
Yes.
That's I can. There
Thank
you
you.
go. It adds drama.
I like, and again, everything in life is a preference. I like a lot of stuff in my mayonnaise, in my tuna salad. Some people, very pure, I just want the tuna salad. I think it's fine. I just want the tuna salad and nothing else. I like stuff because I like to almost make it like a big meal. So I will, and part of the thing that part of the thing that I like about this machine is you can put everything in at once. So in mine, I like. Yeah, here's the, you see that?
Yes.
Go.
Yeah. Just getting all of our questions out today.
Okay, and then I like onion. Not everyone likes onion in there. Okay, I like onion. I can't really peel the onion because I'm just gonna take this off.
Yeah.
So it's not as much onion as they
Are you wearing the gloves because everyone will taste your salad?
That's what we.
Okay.
It has to. It has to. Have to.
I know, but if no one was sampling it, you could use.
But people were sampling.
For the people.
But then there's one that's dirty.
So then we could.
And this
do a
is the
sample
onion
on one
in
side.
here. If I want my onion, like I did before, to be smaller.
There we go.
Blend the gloves, it's because they're awkward.
I will put it in again. And then it will make it even smaller, because I like it to be kind of. So I will take that and pour it in. I like to put in cherry tomatoes, but I like to cut them up. I know it sounds like I should be doing that because I get solid. But I like the soggy feeling of the cherry tomatoes. So I will cut them. I like to cut them into.
You don't try them in your cutter, your veggie cutter?
No, because I haven't tried it because I thought that they would get like just all liquidy all
Yeah.
over the place, but let me see what happens. I think we just need question.
Just to say, while you're doing that, I do the onions, but I find raw onions give me heartburn, so what I do is I'll soak them in ice water with a little salt. And I find that takes some of the juices out and it makes it less harsh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes I like to use just onion powder. Can I just take a couple more of these?
Of course.
Give me-
I got that.
So I like a lot of, I like that feeling of the tomato with the tuna and more. But
And
now I also know that we can use this machine to do that. So I'm more excited.
Yeah.
What is the machine called exactly?
It's just called, it's like veggie cutter. If you go on Amazon, you'll see it there is like something like pretty popular. I like to put carrot in, and I won't go ahead and do that this time. I like to put in some like these are the little oranges or whatever they call it. Are they the cuties? I don't know. What they are.
Yes.
I like to cut them up a little bit. That I wouldn't put in this because I think they'll just become liquid. And mush. So I like that in here.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, pass it out.
Or say what the name, say the exact name of it.
Oh, it's Magic Colors.
If you go on Amazon, you're gonna see it because it's probably one of the most popular things that you can sell right now, so you'll see it like right up on top. And then the other thing that I do now, because, and I would put in, you know, some apple, I would put in other kinds of fruit, but since we have the oranges, I'll put those in. One of the things that for me, I think some people know, I lost a lot of weight last year, which was great, but I put some of it back on since then, which is okay, doesn't matter. But one of the things, again, living alone, I have a problem with bread. If I have bread in the house, I will eat the entire loaf. So it's just no starter for me. I don't have bread at the house, but I read this article. These are Ortega. They're mini taco shells. Okay. Okay. All of these together are 140 calories.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really like almost nothing. So the way I use them, you can use them in different ways. You could crumble them and put them in so you have something hard in there, which I kind of like to have. But what I do now is I make the tuna and basically I just in the dip now and I eat it that way. Sometimes I'll put it inside the taco shell if I want to, but this is my substitute for bread. I don't have any bread in the house anymore. And it's good and it tastes good. And if you have a friend over who is gluten, free, this is made of corn, so they're able to like have it. So that's my tuna.
That sounds good.
Put in salad too is raisins. I like raisins in my tuna salad. Yeah.
All right. So next up, I am going to make my faux tuna salad. So I have some canned chickpeas. All right, so we've got the chickpeas. Chickpeas I like to use, dried chickpeas. I'll sometimes get, but I find canned because they're a lot softer when it comes to cooking this. So I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of those in here. Let's see if we get, there we go, so you can see it. And what I'm going to add is where the mayonnaise.
Notice mine are faster than hers. Not that matters, but just the best.
Somebody got tuna in my.
Well, if I had the vegan mayonnaise, you would have had that all to yourself. So, this is something to think about.
She's not mentioning any names.
I asked you how many times.
Yes. All right, so we've got that. I like a little mustard also, and I know I put it.
Oh, that's good. That would be good for the tuna also.
I can save you some. I can put a little chickpea in there.
The battle of the chefs.
Thank you.
Real.
You were calling a chef. Oh my God. Thank you.
Barely cooked. And let's see, I like to season a lot, so I'm going to add.
You have to do that. Huh? You have to, I think it needs to be more seasoned.
It does.
Otherwise it's kind of flat, because I've made.
Yeah, absolutely. So I happen to like, this is paprika. This is actually regular paprika. I mix it with some smoked paprika, which I think adds a nice taste to it. So I'm gonna add some. I'm very generous. I sit there going, they tell me like a teaspoon. I sit there going, yeah, right. Just keep on handing things over.
It's a Paul Bunyan teaspoon.
Yes. Tiny bit of cayenne, because I just think it adds a little bit of, oomph to it. Margie uses a lot of onion powder. My go-to is garlic powder. As far as I'm concerned, if you put salt, pepper, that's where the olive oil and garlic powder and.
And garlic's supposed to be very healthy for you.
Yeah.
More so than onion.
All right, And so I'm gonna take this whole thing, I know I have my masher here somewhere. All right, so I just take the potato masher and let's see how we can.
And you just use the masher at home.
I do,
Okay,
yeah, so I have one at home and that's what I use, it's just the easiest thing.
I know.
I don't worry about
Yeah,
it
got the
completely.
nasal test.
Oh. Okay.
I think the tuna went down.
Swam the wrong way.
All right, so it's starting to look a little bit like a tuna.
It does. You know, when I tried to make it, didn't look anything like that.
Yes. Do you have a potato masher?
I don't think I did. I think it made it look like something like that. I think maybe it made it too much.
Oh, maybe. All right, so I'm
Oh,
gonna.
it looks like tuna.
Yeah. And then if you want, what I
Well,
was
I
told.
think I put it in the food processor. I think the food processor makes it too much.
Too much, yeah.
Now it looks like tuna. Now it actually.
I
looks
did
like
that with
tuna.
potatoes once. I tried to make mashed potatoes. My kids never let me forget it because I put it in the food processor. And it must have done something weird. They turned gray.
And they get very glutinous.
Oh, it was awful.
Oh, yeah.
It was really the worst
You
mashed
did a
potatoes I've ever
scientific
made.
experiment.
Oh, did
Yeah.
Yeah, or I just, once again, do it
You know
old
what that is?
fashioned way. That's how I get these, amazing guns, absolutely. And sure, I'm gonna try a Margie technique. I have learned a lot since I've been here. Cutting. With
a
cutting
scissor.
skills. See, there we go.
Because I used to be a nursery school teacher, so I.
Yeah, right. See, it's coming handy. So usually I'm not the tuna person, but what you can do to make it a little tuna-like is add a little nori, because that's the seaweed. Nori is, this is seaweed. And so the tea seaweed in it, you crumble it up and add that in, and that gives it that little bit of a fishy flavor to it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit, this one has teriyaki sauce on it, a little bit of teriyaki, so it's good.
Do you remember when we did the, fake lox with?
Yes.
With the carrots? We
Yeah.
also used the nori sheets, yeah,
Yeah,
to give it that fishy.
I can take that.
Trying to do this nicely. I was gonna have to-
Real tuna.
Why did we ask you here?
I think it's good. It just doesn't. And there you go.
We have two different.
All right.
Ta-da!